So getting into the body, a few things I wanted to say before I start going into this, because I normally don't video body work, but reading the instructions, it quite clearly says, before you begin, we recommend read through the entire manual prior to starting assembly. Absolutely. Complete step 1 before painting. So the reason is that there's some things in step 1 and a little bit in step 2 that you need to keep in mind, because you have to glue parts, and if you paint them and then try to glue them, it normally doesn't work out so well, or it's going to ruin your paint, or the paint is going to be what's glued and not the plastics. So this is just me advising you, definitely read through the manual first. These headlight pieces, these bezels get glued on, these pieces get glued on first. So you definitely want to do that. You want to drill the holes that they indicate on the panel. On this panel, they're there, but they're not there. So just be cognizant of that. There's also, once you put these on, you're going to have a gap on the inside, and depending on how detailed you want to get with the body, you want to fill those in, because that would be smooth. I think I can probably show you here real quick, why I say that. So let's see if I can get the right, so it's this side. So even though it snaps in, you'll have this line going down through here that wouldn't normally be there. So if you want to get really high-techy and fancy, some Tamiya putty, and once it's glued in and dried, then you can go back over this with a putty and make that piece invisible. But even with it just snapped in there, you can see some definite lines from the plastic molds. I'll go through, normally I go through and clean all that stuff out ahead of time, just to prep the body. Same with cutting this piece out. Where'd it go? So my favorite tool again is the back pull saw. So this is definitely a handy tool if you're going to remove this much plastic. The nippers will get it done, but you're going to have some cleanup. Like it will punch through there, but you're going to have to come back through with some sandpaper or some small files, steel fingernail file from a loved one, or just use, sandpaper. This is normally what I clean up with. They work fine. Just a fingernail file, or 100 pack on Amazon for $2 or something. So just to clean that up. So just giving you some advice on getting your body started, and I'll check in throughout the process of my build on the body just to give you some tips and tricks, but I'm definitely not the guy to watch for building bodies. So that would be Matt over at Scale Builders Guild. But yep, I want to get started, and talk to you soon. All right. So I got my body pre-assembled for paint. I did put in the supports to get the body all in one piece, because it is obviously two pieces when you get it. Once I get the body in, kind of all put together, I got the front end, all these parts are glued in, and I got the lower support in, which really firms up the front end of this. The other part is the plug, doing a passenger side or driver side plug. The other side will have the intake inlet. So got my parts separated by body color. So the doors, I'm doing half doors, open top. So all these pieces, and then I have the separate parts for the different color. This would have been galvanized, not painted, so I'm going to actually do galvanized on this, and little paint texturing tricks. The rest of this will be like the intake vent, the wiper stuff. Miscellaneous interior parts will be silver. The wipers, the door brackets, shifters, and stuff like that, I'm going to spray them with aluminum. It's a brushed aluminum paint, same paint system. It's a satin finish from the Max Flex paint from Glidden. So I'll do all that. But one of the things that I wanted to kind of mention, it doesn't come out real good. You can't really see it super great on the camera, but as I go through the reflections, you can see some of the mold release lines and some of the imprints from what's been molded on the back side of some of the panels. What I do is go over all of it. You can kind of see it right there. It's like a little hazy part. And it's just mold release. So you got to make sure that you wash these panels before you paint, obviously. But for some of this stuff, I just use a gray Scotch-Brite. Get these in a 10-pack at the part store. And basically, you're just going to scuff. One, you're going to get rid of the shiny material, and you're going to prep the surface for paint. So paint will actually stick to the plastic instead of just sit on top of it. You want to prep these. So I just use. There's no body work in it or anything in this. So just scrub it down, dry cloth, wipe it off. Obviously I'll do it again before I paint because I'm touching this with my bare hands. But it takes all those lines and kind of sinks them and gets rid of them. So you can see the difference between the panels. The shine is gone off of this one. This one's still shiny. Cleanliness, getting paint prep done is the most important part of a job. If you're going to do a ratty-tatty one of these, you're probably not going to go to this level. But I do the pre-assembly and clean up all my parts. So I'll sit here for another 2 hours or something and sand things down and get them to where I feel comfortable to paint them. Now I did go over all the plastic parts, all the edges where they come off of the parch trees. I use a 320 extra fine sandpaper, and it takes it off super fast, cleans parts up. I also go over all the edges, all the sharp edges, because paint doesn't like to hang on to edges. It'd rather hang on to something round. So rounding those edges off is the next step on this for me. To get all these sharp edges kind of dulled out so the paint sticks on them and doesn't just stay thin on the edge. Makes a difference to me. But all these little pieces that go on the bed for the tie down, I paint them separate and apply them last. Again, because the edges on these doors and the body have galvanized in them. So this would be a galvanized tube that runs down the perimeter. So it needs to be painted separate. So it's a little pain in the butt to tape that off if you put these on before you paint the body color. But they are body color. So yeah, that's where I'm at, and driving myself insane, doing another body really fast. Temperatures tomorrow supposed to be in the 50s, so at least I'll be able to get to paint it. So till then, thanks for watching. Hey, welcome to my world's messiest garage. So paint stuff. Got my parts laid out. I got my paint sitting in its bowl of water getting warmed up. The rest of the parts are in the box, and I'm going to start laying down some color coats. And I'm starting off with aluminum. So obviously these trucks are mostly aluminum, but even the galvanized, the aluminum's a good base for it and all the detail parts, and then I can paint from there. So I'm gonna get some color on. All right, silver's laid down. Got all those parts down, both sides coated. Got this one down. Got other sides to do, but the main body has its first coat of aluminum on it. So if it gets scratched up, it'll show aluminum. And that's it. We're gonna wait about 5 minutes for a flash and then flip them and redo the insides. All right, so we got paint. So we are in Victory Blue. Everything kind of went pretty good today. We cracked a whole 56 degrees. So I was able to paint. So I got the silver aluminum color underneath of the blue. And it's this shade of silver that's underneath that aluminum color. I'll still be touching on this a little bit with the airbrush, but yeah, so we're blue. Got the interior pan assembled, and I got the dash assembled. So I put a little splash of color on there, just a little pecan to give some visual interest inside of the truck. But yeah, all the panels came out fantastic. Yes, this is a satin finish. I typically clear this paint actually as a last step once the truck's completely assembled. That way, if I get any scratches or anything like that during assembly, I can go back and still paint it and not worry about matching the clears. I will be coming through and getting the rubber rails into this color. Same with the rear emblazonments, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, we're there, and tomorrow we'll do body assembly. And maybe if the weather's still holding up, we might be able to do some running. So yeah, we're nearing the finish line. The only thing left to do is everything. So yeah, that's it for today. I know these are pretty short little videos, but I don't want to bore you or make you wait to see how progress is going. So yeah, here we go. Thanks for watching.